I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to HEINZ Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and HEINZ Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the HEINZ Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here we go from HEINZ Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
Colts offense taking the field. This crew and Jacoby Brissett, they have to be feeling good after that division win over Houston in Week 7, 30-23. Puts him in first place in the AFC South behind that arm of Brissett, Charles. He threw for 326 yards and a career-high 4 touchdown passes.
And when you talk with people in the Colts organization, they're telling us and they're telling me that you're now seeing what we thought of Jacoby Brissett. We never saw him as a game manager. We saw him as a difference maker. Multiple touchdown passes in 5 of their first 6 games. 14 touchdown passes. That trails only Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Matt Ryan. And how about that? Jacoby Brissett takes over for a team.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw is Brissett, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, Brissett. That's complete to HEINZ out of the backfield. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's fourth down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Got an open man, it's Washington. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Ready? 53 is the march. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 5.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's the keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
10-2, we got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Ready?
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 53. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Colts offense coming back out here, CD, and this is a team with that win over Houston that has defeated the Texans 3 straight times, including that wild card win in last year's playoffs. But we discussed what Brissett has meant to this team. Zach Pascal had a big game against Houston, 6 catches, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, all career highs. And T.Y. Hilton continuing to have his way with Houston.
Boy, does he ever. 16 career games when he sees the Texans. 86 catches, 1,604 yards, and 10 touchdowns. That's a big season. That's an all-pro season that he's put up against the Houston Texans.
And looking ahead for Indy, they're going to host the Broncos Week 8. Then they go to Pittsburgh, back home for the Dolphins and Jags. 4 winnable games for Indianapolis. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Brissett toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They start with a give to Connor. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down, they hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Ready? 50, plant. 50. You must be dreaming. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Hit it.
Now Rudolph on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Back to throw, Rudolph. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now Connor, and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
53, Mike 53. Check. Now.
From just shy of midfield, Rudolph. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
The outlaw. Wild Bill. Let's go.
Rudolph looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Come on, set.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Get it. There you go.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
18, Gator. Watch the boot. Ready?
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Walker. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Rudolph looking to throw it. And that is incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Chester Rogers deep for Indianapolis. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. They'll find HEINZ out of the backfield. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous.
Rudolph now to throw. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
When you run a screen pass really well, You got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Ready.
Here's Rudolph. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. September 24th, that was the date that Nick Vanette was picked up from Seattle. The emergence of Will Dissly made him expendable with the Seahawks. Plus, Vance McDonald has been banged up early, so you will see a lot of Vanette going forward.
On the set. 53, check 53. All day, dog.
Throwing again on second down. Rudolph. Little pitch and catch caught by McDonald. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Rudolph throwing again. But it's brought in by Washington. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Ready up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Again, it's Rudolph. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 43. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. Watch the pass. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Trying to get the first with Samuels. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Gator. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On first down, it's Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rudolph, the sack by Marcus Hunt.
You see me?
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Rudolph. Rudolph loses the football. It's out, and the Colts pick it up. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
All I know, partner, is that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Rodgers brings it in. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action now. Brissett, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Chester Rogers, 50 yards. And the Colts have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Under pressure, they got him again. Jabal Sheard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Rudolph. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 11.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
4 down.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Rudolph. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. Rudolph going to throw again. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
A first down throw for Brissett. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Brissett. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. This is Mack on the counter, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
First down, Colts.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He's got it to Hilton. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a two-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Rudolph. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And they got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now it's Rudolph. Open man is Switzer, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Here we go, set, 10 Lobo. Tight end right. 3 down.
Now Rudolph. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Brissett looks to throw. That one into the hands of Kane. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Brissett. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
You can't stop me.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Brissett. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Brissett. Middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They run with HEINZ. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a first throw here in overtime. Ebron's got it. There he goes right side. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.